It was called a door.
If you want to feel healthy or let yourself go and be naughty, take a break from shopping and select from the best at the Cat and Fiddle.
Aren't you glad it's a back-to-work Monday tomorrow? No? Oh, neither am I, really. Have a nice day.
Hello and welcome to the program. Tonight on KellyVision, we have Game and James embarking on a traveller's tale. Reel and Film will be exploring the potential in lost cities, from Atlantis to El Dorado. And in Sportivon, the Sydney 2000 Olympics merchandise unveiled. Television commercials and idents are all over broadcasting services. Ploys into consumerism, calls for help with addictions, a future kid's education, glimpses into hit programs and blockbuster films, yet barely a complimentary gesture. That was until someone said hello.
For 3 weeks, I took to researching and locating the origins of this specific jingle, spending hours, days, minutes to be satisfied. Before the jump, we start at Tas TV, a Tasmanian broadcast station that's been around since the 1960s. It's where you would find advertisements for nearby restaurants, shopping centres and activities. Gather nearby folk tales and national news stories, small shows with competing primary schools and even a Saturday fun show. A good time with no mainland interference. It's a lazy Saturday afternoon and I'm on the couch, watching Tas TV's local football coverage. New Norfolk versus Burnie, the most exciting match of the past day. This is rare time out of my weekend to digest content rather than produce, and let me tell you, it's relaxation station. Till I'm fed commercials to drink Heineken and drive 10 kilometers to smell flowers. When the obnoxious interruption starts, it's the moment to get up and grab another drink, until this ident appears and blows my socks away. It was stuck in my brain for days on end, a jingle so fast-paced and highly optimistic. Locals waving happily past, the vistas looking as beautiful as Scandinavian painted decor. It came in different varieties too, morning jingles, evening close-offs, varied locations, etc. Did I come across something more catchy than Chicken Feed? No, not quite. What about Video City? Nope, not that either. I rewatched the sequence, immersed, all recorded on my video player. There was a lot to uncover. Surely Tasmania was capable of making a hit jingle, right? Well, that's when the greeting card rabbit hole decided to commence. And the answer was no. I changed the channel to 7, a mainland-oriented network that's scoured around Australia. It's a broadcast primarily for the AFL and Home and Away. Lo and behold, the jingle was here. Same energy and pretty much beat for beat. The studio probably had a list of locations to tick off the box. Hello Melbourne, hello Perth, even hello Adelaide. On and on and on. A lot of these idents were released around the late 80s and early 90s. The quality is definitely higher than Tasmania's thanks to the cameras used and sunset style, not to forget plenty of cameos from Channel 7 reporters and celebrities, whereas Tasmania documented nearby civilians, cheesy shirts, signs, and its camera quality being less extravagant. The mainland has the style, sure, but Tassie contains the spirit, having some fun. One thing I noticed was reused B-roll in both the Tasmanian and Melbourne jingle, where these ballet dancers pose. For Tas TV it sticks out like a sore thumb as the rest of the footage is not bad in high contrast. But Channel 7 has the sore thumb of an outro. Here's Tas TV's. And here is Channel 7. The impact of C7's outro isn't tight. It's a lot to say. Stretching out the chan in channel makes it uncomforting, and 7 simply isn't a fun word to sing, but it's saved when they say hello at the end. If the song isn't stuck in your head just yet, well, I believe Perth and Adelaide will do that. Perth knocks the vocals out of the park with both male and female singers.
We've got the spirit. Say hello. Come on, let's hear it. Say hello.
The instrumental section is jazzy, providing some efficient solos. The tempo is slower, still retaining that hot energy, and it's a joy to witness some scripted optimism.
There's a feeling in the air that you can't get anywhere except in Melbourne. I've seen 1,000 yesterdays, and I love the magic ways of Melbourne. From the ranges close at hand, I can look across the land and see you touch the sky. From where the yellow flows to where the sunset goes, we're all good neighbors passing by. Makes no difference where I go, you're the best hometown I know. Hello Melbourne, hello Melbourne, Channel 7 with you.
However, I do have a major complaint for all of the idents from Tassie, Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, and that is very obvious from its visuals alone. So if you know what I'm thinking of, please send me an email or letter. Finding these idents, I figured the trail for the Hello campaign had ended, but I had no knowledge of who the creator is and when it was created. So, after the break, we're going to find out who the creator is and dive even deeper into the rabbit hole, landing in America and Canada. Don't go anywhere.
It's USA versus Australia monster truck racing indoors at 7:30 this Friday and Saturday night at the Launceston.
Out of Hobart.
America, as well as Canada, are next on this complimentary journey, and it took a lot of time to get this tape filled with Hello programs. But before we do that, there was an iconic Coca-Cola commercial that sounded familiar. Have a listen.
Coke is it, the biggest taste you've ever found. Coke is it, the one that never lets you down. Coke is it.
It indeed sounds similar, but with enough key variations it gets away with trapping itself into a court case. Nevertheless, a fun commercial for cavities. Now, there are a lot of different stations that broadcasted a wide variety of Hello segments. Nashville, Calgary, Cleveland, Ohio, Maine, you name it, and it probably got some recognition. Yes, even Syracuse. Ranging from the late 70s to the early 80s, this ident is still used to this day on some broadcasts in the early 2000s. Something is peculiar and warming about these versions though.
The difference in the air, it's knowing that we care in Acadiana. Here we dream our yesterdays and tomorrow's Cajun ways in Acadiana.
It's slow. Not a methodical walk through an art house film slow, but a nice walk in the park kind of slow. Taking in the sights, feeling the breeze, as Bob Ross talks about how great your painting skills are.
Makes no difference where I go, you're the best place that I know.
Each version expresses how lovely the said location is, how they are always busy but can touch the sky. The singer for a high majority of these versions is singer Florence Warner, well known for this Hello campaign, product commercials, and even the theme for Once Upon a Forest. She just has the control and adds a lot of flair to each song, even though they are pretty much the same. The documentation for each hometown is something miraculous if I'm honest. It's difficult to make a happy-go-lucky environment in a commercial without it coming off as forceful. And whilst this does have elements like that in the song, it's the visual of the everyday people that radiates the blue skies and golden sunshine.
There's a feeling in the air that you can't get anywhere except in Erie.
I taste 1,000 yesterdays.
And I love the magic ways of Erie.
Travelling to Utah, there's a special guest act from the Osmonds, a somewhat popular band in the 70s, and they helped out for the Utah Hello Jingle.
Makes no difference where I go. You're the best place that I know. Hello, Utah. Hello, Utah. You know we love you.
And entering 1977 on a cold Milwaukee night, the first ever Hello Ident appeared. This was the monumental hit that skyrocketed all over Hello News, America's broadcasting service. It must have been a warming glow on that cool evening. The male vocals are different in comparison to Florence Warner and even the Osmonds, and the singer himself was the creator of this whole entire Hello empire, Frank Gehry. Yeah, Frank Gehry, the Frank Gehry. You probably don't know who he is or what he's achieved, have you? Well, here we go. He was well regarded in the 1950s and 60s for his classic rock and roll love songs and energizing hits such as Lullaby of Love and Princess, reaching high on the Billboard. After those days of rocking succession flew by, he had to focus on commercial jingles for places such as Wendy's and Ohio Bell. And in 1970, he became recognized in Cleveland for his theme for Catch 5.
It makes no difference who you are if you've been looking near and far to get the feel of life.
The Hello campaign was his most successful item in television history, reaching out around 120 markets across the world, and to this day, he still creates jingles for television. Little did I know that Frank Gehry's Hello campaign was one of the most memorable and iconic television jingles in television history. So memorable and catchy that we eliminated it from our brains and barely recall it and talk about it. But for those that have grown up with it, I'm sure it's brought you a bit of a nostalgic tingle to your brain. But if you have never heard it before, well, I'm very sorry for putting it in your head. We'll be in there for a few days, I guarantee. So, best to say hello, and I'll see you the next time. Ta-ra.
He needs no introduction to you. He's Japan's most celebrated, and in some ways most westernized director. His brilliant series of samurai films